Okay, let's go through some case studies so you can see how this actually works today. This property is on Worchester Street, and for those of you in Denver, you might even recognize it. It's the basic 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom ranch with a basement out in Montbello, which is near the airport. You can see the 1-car garage there. This property was purchased for $71,000. Okay, the repairs on it was $10,000. Why was it only $10,000? And we talked about it earlier, but it's because it's a rental grade rehab. This is basically a paint and carpet and maybe a new Formica countertop kind of thing. Closing costs to buy it. This is the hard money loan and the other closing costs associated with buying a property. You know, you got your recording fees and your title fees and some of that stuff. So a total of $4,500. These three numbers together give you your total acquisition. Okay, so your acquisition is $85,500. That's total money into the deal. Okay, the value of this thing is $120,000. It might be even a little bit higher than that, but this is where our appraisal came in. And we got a hard money loan for $84,000. So you could see immediately that there's a little bit of money into this deal. So total money to closing $1,500. Now there's $1,000 earnest, so really the check that you brought to closing is only $500 on this one. Okay, it's important to see that $1,500 into this deal. Refinance it. Once you got it rehabbed and refinanced, your refinance closing costs are $2,500. Your refinance loan is $86,500, so you could see that you rolled all $2,500 into that second loan. Principal, interest, taxes, and insurance, everything on that $86,500 is $663 per month. The rent in Montbello for the 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom is $1,200 per month. Gross cash flow, gross. There is vacancies to consider, there is maintenance to consider. But if we're speaking about just your gross cash flow, it's $537 per month. Okay, this house took 2 months to rehab and get a tenant. There was one hard money loan payment made during this time. Okay, the hard money loan was $1,050. The refinance took about 5 months from that time the house was purchased. Okay, so those are some notes on this property. $537 per month for a $1,500 investment. Let's calculate the ROI, rate of return. I'm sorry, return on investment. So $537 times 12 months is $6,444 per year. Okay, this is how you calculate the return on investment. $1,500 is the money you have into the deal, plus you had 2 hard money loan payments. You have $3,600. I'm only using 2 hard money loan payments because it was vacant for 2 months, and after that the tenant's $1,200 rent covered the hard money loan payment of $1,050. So we really didn't have those, even though it took 5 months to refinance. It didn't have that much money into the deal. Okay, so you have $3,600 total into the deal with your hard money. I calculate the gross income per year, $6,444 divided by the money I put into the deal, $3,600, and I get 179% return on investment each and every year. And you know what this doesn't even calculate? All of your equity, all of your principal pay down, your principal reduction. As long as you keep the loan, you're paying down the principal a little bit every month. Your tax advantages, if and when we see some appreciation, the value of the house is going to start going up. That really shoots up the return on investment on these types of deals. Who would like 179% return on investment year in and year out? Alright, let's go through another one. Logan Street. This one's in Colorado Springs, so you can see that this is happening in both Denver and Colorado Springs. Both towns we do a ton of business. Okay, purchase $78,000. This is a goofy house. It's actually a 3-plex or a triplex, which you see a lot of down there. These there's a couple colleges down there, and they convert a lot of single family into multifamily, and that's what this one is. So we bought it for $78,000 and put $21,000 into it. A little bit more on the rehab on this one because there's 3 kitchens. Okay, closing costs $5,800. That's all of your hard money costs, all of your title fees, recording fees, and all of that stuff. Total acquisition $104,800. The value of this came in at 150 grand. Okay, a hard money loan, 105,000. So you could see that I try to get this perfect where we loan exactly what the acquisition is, but it's kind of hard until you see the final figures. So we were off a little bit on this one. We actually loaned him $200 more than he needed to buy it and fix it up. So money to closing, 0. He got all of his earnest money back, and he got a check to start the project. Alright, Logan Street, refinance cost him $3,000 to get that refinance done. So I do want to point this out to you. Let's go back here. Cost to buy, closing costs $5,800. That's expensive. Refinance another $33,000. We're over $8 grand to buy and refinance this just to pay your brokers and your title companies and everybody else that gets their hands in your wallet. But you know what? When you get the returns that we're going to see here, isn't $8 grand spending that to do these 2 loans and make this strategy work worth it? Doesn't that mean you could do 1 or 2 or 3 more deals and maybe you wouldn't have been able to do if you had to put 20,000 or 20% down on every deal you did plus cover all the rehab yourself? So yes, it's expensive, but it's worth it when you could see the rates of return and how many deals you could actually do. Okay, sorry to go off on that tangent there. Case study. Logan Street, refinance cost $3 grand. Refinance loan is $108,000. So he rolled all of his refinance costs into the new loan. PITI $680. So principal, interest, taxes, and insurance, all of it $680. Rent on these 3 units combined $1,650. Is this a deal or what? Gross cash flow $970 every single month. There were 2 hard money loan payments before they're fully occupied, and this is a triplex, which we talked about. Return on investments, $970 times 12 months, $11,640 every year. You just gave yourself a raise. 0 money in plus 2 hard money loan payments, $2,625 in cash into this deal. So I take the $11,640 divided by the money into the deal, $2,625, and I get a 443% return on investment year in and year out. And you know what this doesn't count? The $40,000 in equity that he has now. It doesn't count the loan pay down, the tax benefits. This is a sweet deal, and these deals we're closing every single month. Alright, so check out our blog, pinefinancialblog.com. On this blog, you're going to find tons of free information and current information for real estate investors. So we just post different blog posts up there, what's going on in the market, different strategies to acquire properties, wholesale, the best ways to wholesale the properties, for example, buying properties with little or no money down, some different exit strategies that we're seeing used in the market, updates on all of our free classes. We do both live classes and webinars. Everything we do is free. All we're trying to do here is build our network. We're not trying to sell you information. And this is where you go to apply for a loan and get started using this strategy today. So I know we covered a lot. It's a pretty unique and innovative strategy, and not a lot of people know about it. But the basics here are: you find a good deal, you give us a call, we finance the acquisition, we finance your repairs, we finance your closing costs, you get into it with no money down, you fix it up, you put a tenant in there, you refinance it, and then you just created a cash cow. So normally what I'd say is, if you have any questions, let's go through some questions, but you can't ask me the questions since this is recorded. What I can say is, if you want to go through some questions, please send me an email or give me a call. I try to be in the office and available as much as I can. The number there is 303-835-4445, or you could reach me at kevin@pinefinancialgroup.com. Thank you so much for taking the time to go through this quick PowerPoint with me. I'm very excited about this strategy. I'm using it. The people that work for me are using it, and you should be using it.